Welcome to my first mukbang. As you can see in the title, I am going to be only eating Asian snack food today. I only have 2 ingredients though that are not Asian, but I'm going to be using them to make Asian snack food. So the first thing I'm going to be making is purple sweet potato smoothie. First time ever that I'm making today's smoothie recipes. I have never made it before. I don't know how this is going to turn out or taste, but I hope it's going to be good. So as you can see in the title screen, the name of this video, I used to be a really big introvert before, and it may not seem like it, but I was really introverted. I did not spend much time with friends. I would yeah, like ever since kindergarten and so on, when friends would invite me to hang out with them, most of the times I would actually say no, because I preferred being by myself and having my alone time or my me time. Because I don't know if anyone has noticed, but this shirt is an anime shirt. It's like a merch of the anime Hunter x Hunter, if you know of it. But I used to be a really big otaku. And an otaku is someone who really spends a lot of time watching anime or manga. I'm not sure if it includes playing games, but for me it was watching anime and manga and always staying up to date on the latest new episodes or new animes or seasons. So I was pretty shy and quiet. I didn't like being myself around other people, which resulted into me just pretending to be someone who I thought they would accept. So I just adjusted myself to the crowd, which led to that, yeah, I got along with many people. But I didn't really mind much to not be myself, because I was still enjoying what I had, which was people to hang out with at school. But when my friends started asking if I could go out with them just to spend time with them, have fun, have sleepovers and such, I would usually go to my mom and ask her if she could help me come up with an excuse to say no to going out with them. And sometimes she would actually have something for me to do, which, as most people, is to be cleaning a room or doing chores or doing studies. Or as I often had, was that I had after school activities, which was at the moment my biggest after school activity was swimming. So I would be doing that like 4 or 5 times a week, and so I could always use that as an excuse to not hang out with friends. I would always say, oh no, I have training today, no, I have to study and other things. And then they were like, okay, yeah, I understand that you have training. But then elementary came, and let's see, sometime during elementary, I think in 4th or 5th grade, I quit swimming. And when I quit swimming, obviously my friends found out, and I could no longer use swimming as an excuse to not hang out with friends. So I ended up having to go to my mom again and ask her to come up with an excuse so I did not need to hang out with them. Which sometimes went pretty well, because sometimes she actually did come up with an excuse so I could skip, or I would just make up my own excuse. And no, I did not lie, but I did come up with excuses. Yeah. So then there was this one time my mom, I had not hung out with any friends for I think 1 or 2 months. So the thing is, I hang out with my friends during school and at school, but after school I always prefer to spend my time alone and just stay at home, being by myself at my desk and just doing whatever I want to do. But then one day my my friend had called me and asked if we could sleep over, and I really did not want to because I knew we would be playing with dolls, and I did not want to play with dolls because I was 8 years old and I was done playing with dolls. So yeah, but then so my friend called me on the phone and asked, oh, do you want to sleep over? And I was like, yeah, let me ask my mom and see if I'm available. So I went to my mom and just come up the phone and was like, hey ma, come up with a good excuse so I can skip being with my friend and sleep over. I don't want to sleep over. Just like say I need to do chores or something. And she actually did not do that. She was like, no, you have to. You're going to go and sleep over with a friend and you're going to have fun and you're going to be with her. And I was like, no, but I don't want to, but I had to. Because I had not been with any friends for like 1 or 2 months, so I ended up being forced to, and went back to the phone and told my friend, yeah, okay, never mind. Apparently I am available, so I ended up spending time with my friend. Let's see. Yeah. So when we went over to her place, we had fun, and just as I thought, we were playing with dolls, as I suspected. And it wasn't that bad. Like, as soon as I got to my friend and we were hanging out, then it was actually fun. But it's always at the beginning to decide to actually go and hang out with people. That is the harder part, because as soon as you've gotten there, then you're going to be going on. Then you don't have, like, there's no turning back. Just try to enjoy the moment, which I did, so that was nice. I don't regret it, but I still wish we did I still wish we would have done something else than playing with dolls, because I really did not like playing with dolls anymore. But we were both having fun, enjoying ourselves. Yeah. So what I would be doing during my introverted time, I guess. But yeah, with my life as an introvert, my days were very much always the same. So in the morning, I would wake up around 2 hours extra early before school started, so that during those 2 hours I would be able to watch at least 1 or 2 episodes of anime and prepare tasty breakfast. And then I would bring the breakfast to my room, sit by my desk and watch anime while eating and enjoying my breakfast. And then just normal morning routine. You eat, you brush your teeth, get ready for school and head out. And then as soon as I came home, the first thing I do is watch more anime. And I would often also multitask, so I would watch anime while studying or doing homework. It went pretty well. And almond milk I'm going to be using almond milk and purple sweet potato. This is actually a smoothie recipe that I got inspired of from another YouTuber who I watch. She also makes purple sweet potato smoothies with almond milk. I don't know if she mixes anything else in it though, but these two are the main ingredients, so I'm only going to be doing these two. So yeah, and then I would eat my dinner, shower, and then right before going to bed, I would have some more anime to watch. So I would literally always begin my day with anime. go to school, come back from school, the first thing I do is watch more anime and then something else. And then right before going to bed, I would continue watching even more anime. So all my days were always filled with anime. And if I ever missed a day, for example, if I were to go on a trip and I did not watch any anime during that trip, that means I had a lot to catch up on. Because I'll be watching like 10 different animes at once. Yeah, so I would have quite a few episodes to catch up on usually. So then I didn't like missing days of not watching any anime at all, because if I did not watch any anime, that meant that when I get back from my trip or whatever it is, a sleepover, then I would be sitting cooped up in my room watching even more anime for a longer time because I have to catch up. And yeah, I loved and still do love to always stay up to date on my animes and TV series if I am watching any. And yeah, so I did not like missing a new episode. So as soon as the new episode would have been released, I would watch it on the very same day as soon as possible. And now I'm just going to mix or blend the smoothie, so let's just enjoy this happening. Oh, I don't know if my camera is going to fall. I don't know if this is smart, but I'm going to put the blender on my leg because I don't want anything here to fall down. Yeah. Okay. Is this thing done? I don't know. I think this... I don't know. Let me try. Like I said, this is the first time and I have no idea what this is going to taste like. Like, wow. It tastes really good. It tastes a lot like the purple sweet potato, obviously. So yeah, I think this should do it. Huh. Yeah. Okay. Then when I was in I was in 5th or 6th grade, I would wake up in the morning. I would start waking up at around 5 or even 4:30 a.m. just so that I could have even more time to watch even more anime before school. And it was not a healthy lifestyle, but I enjoyed myself, but not a lifestyle I'd recommend. Because while I was living as an introvert, yeah, like as I mentioned, I would always be by myself at home. I really liked to sit by my computer and watch anime in the dark. So I didn't like having my blinds open at my window. I prefer to always have them closed. So right now I prefer to have them open. So that's changed. And I didn't like at all when people interrupted my anime. Like if someone were to interrupt you watching a movie, you don't like it, right? But when someone interrupted my anime, it was probably worse than what it's like when someone interrupts you in a good movie. Because when I was watching anime, or when I do watch anime, most of them I get so into the story and I'm like, I don't know, I just get so into it, and it almost feels like I'm a part of the anime, or like I'm in the anime. I don't know how to describe it, but it was to the point where you would talk to yourself as if you're in the scene. So if in an anime, for example, if a character were to do something really stupid, and yeah, if say a guy in the anime were to do something really stupid, and the girl is like, why the heck are you doing that? And then I would be like joining the anime and also join the conversation, but with myself or with the anime, and be like, yeah, what are you doing that? Like, what the heck are you thinking, to the guy? And that is something I do really often. I talk to myself, and I did even more back then. So yeah. But then I 6th grade, I started having more after school activities again, and this as after school activity, it's pretty much forced me to have to be with people, like be around people a lot, teenagers, adults, small young kids. And it's not that I was exactly forced to, like someone didn't say, oh, you have to go and talk to adults. It was just that with my school activity that not school activity, the after school thing that I had, because of what I do at that after school activity, I didn't really have a choice but to actually interact with people. I had to speak up in front of groups of kids and teenagers. I had to speak up really loudly and clear in front of adults and kids. It was like holding a presentation every now and then, and it was really not embarrassing, but like really nervous for me. I didn't dare to do it at first because it was so scary, but after some practice I got used to it, and then finally I got more okay with it. Yeah. And so if you're ever speaking in front of a group and you don't know what to do with your hands, because that's something that happens to many people, like standing up and then you're just like, okay, what am I gonna do with my hands? So then I would usually have my hands behind my back, and then if I'm really nervous, I'll be like fiddling around with my hands, trying to calm myself down. But otherwise you can just keep your hands intact behind. But yeah, so it took some time, and then when middle school came, I obviously went to a new school, and there I got to know a lot more people. There weren't many people at all from my elementary who went to the same middle school as I did, but there were very few who did. So those of us who knew each other from elementary, we still kept in contact. Oh yeah, like we still stayed together in middle school. But then I got to know other people in my class and everyone in my grade. And it all started with, on my first day to middle school, I actually missed my first day of middle school. So I joined on the second day because I was away on a vacation trip. And when I came to my class for the first time then, I sat next to a girl who I didn't know, but it was during math class, which was actually really nice because math is one of my favorite subjects, so that made me extra happy. And so the girl who I was sitting next to, or we were sitting together by a table, 4 people, and we had to work together on a group work thing for just that one math class. And so we were forced to have to talk with each other and interact, which I did. I just spoke normally and engaged in the work we had to do. And so, yeah, I mean, we were going to talk about some graph thing, and later we were going to hold a presentation in front of the whole class, which I wasn't really looking forward to. But we were 4 people, and 2 of us, the two people in my group really did not want to speak in front of the class because they were really scared of speaking in front of a big group. And so me and another person, we ended up having to be the ones to present our answer to the math thing. And yeah, because I understood the topic the best or most out of all of us, I ended up having to be the one to do pretty much all the talking, which was kind of scary for me, but I managed. I mean, I felt pretty confident about it, and when you feel confident about the topic that you're discussing, then it's way easier, because then it's like, okay, I feel very comfortable with this because this is something I'm used to. So math was something I really love, and I was used to helping others, or like I had gotten more used to talking in front of a group, so I was pretty much okay with it. While if I had not practiced talking in front of people, I would not have been as not scared or nervous about talking in front of the whole class, and especially when I knew less than a fifth of my class. I barely knew anyone. But yeah, I started talking to one of the girls who didn't want to present or like speak up in front of everyone, and we got to know each other, I think. I don't remember our very first thing that we were talking about in our first conversation, but I do know we were talking about something school related, I think, and that gave us a start to having a conversation, because we talked about something that we both can comment on, which is school. It's a subject or topic that is really pretty easy to talk about for most people. So we were talking about that, and that got us started. Friendship started building, we got to know each other, I got to know some other friends, and then we started noticing that we had the same interests, common interests. So I got to know that some more people also like watching anime and reading manga and music. We had the same music taste, and that made me really happy. So then we had even more in common, which means that we can have even more fun with each other. And that was something I had difficulty with in elementary school. I didn't have so many friends who enjoyed watching anime or reading manga as much as I do. So I ended up just cooping up inside at home, just enjoying myself and enjoying what I like to do all by myself. Though I did have 3 friends who had the same interests as me in elementary, and I got more friends in middle school that also likes watching anime and reading manga, so that made me even happier. But I still preferred to stay cooped up alone at home and enjoy watching anime and such by myself, because still it's not something that's easy to change, to suddenly decide to go out and be completely different, just change your whole routine just like that. It's gradually happened. Oh shit. It tastes really good, but it's too thick. I don't think I can drink it with this straw. Okay, no, I can, but it's really thick, so it takes a long time for it to come up. This is sesame soup, black sesame soup. This is a Chinese snack. I like it. I loved eating this as a child. And I'll be right back after I have washed this so I can make my next smoothie. And now I'm back with it all clean. And I have actually forgotten what I was talking about before I left. So yeah. But so the main thing is that I started opening up to speak up about myself and what I like to do and such. When you become friends with someone who shares the same interests as you, whoops. Yeah, the juice was flowing out. And I think I now remember how to eat this. Whoops. Let's see. Oh, god dang. Okay, so let me just... Ugh. Okay, perfect. Oh, wait. Okay. This is lychee jello, and I love my jello from Chinese. Yeah, Chinese. Because at home you're so comfortable, and because it's a comfort home, I can just act however weird I want. I don't care. And so at home I could be really loud and just be like jumping around like some weird kangaroo or an idiot, some random thing, I don't know. But when I'm outside with friends, I don't do that, because it's not a side of me I care to show, but I have gotten more open about being myself outside in public with friends, because over time it all started to... I started becoming more extroverted in middle school, because that's when I started getting more friends who I could feel so close to. Someone I could be open with and talk about my problems, girl problems, life issues with. Because I felt so comfortable. And because they understood me and they sometimes even had the same issues as me. So it made me feel even more comfortable that I could speak the truth and be honest about myself. So some things that maybe I wouldn't talk about with my sister, I felt comfortable with talking about with my friends. And that made me open up a lot more. So I felt more confident in myself. I could be myself more. And by doing so, I don't know how to say this. Um, hmm. So when I started becoming more open with myself to others, they started becoming more open about themselves to me. So if I were like, at first I didn't feel like I wanted to tell people or have people know that I watch anime, because I thought if they knew, they wouldn't want to be hang out with me as much because it's nerdy. But when I started telling people, yeah, I do watch anime, other people also told me and responded, yeah, they too watch anime. And so I built some kind of friendship and connection between them, both genders, female and male. And when that happened, then I felt more comfortable. I could talk about more things. I could talk about anime related things with them and have conversations with them that way. And because I shared the same interests, when I would come home, maybe I would sometimes chat with them and be like, oh, have you seen this anime? Oh, remember this scene? Oh, look, this is so funny and such. And then at school, or sometimes if I were to hang out with them, then I would they would also talk about the anime or any other similar topics. So once I started talking about how we all like anime and playing games, and that led to that I got invited out to go to a friend's place with some others who also watch anime and play games, to join them for a night of playing a bunch of games. And it was computer games, so yeah. And so when I started being open about myself and shared that part, they got to know me more. And when you get to know someone more, they don't feel as a stranger to you as much. So then they will also dare to invite you to join them with their friends, because they know you. They'll feel like either they can trust you and be like, okay, I think it would be a good idea that we invite this person, or maybe they'll rather not, because you're not in the same kind of social group, or not the same group of people, as in you may not have the same similar interests. For example, in my anime group of friends, I wouldn't invite someone who does not watch anime and is maybe a sports fanatic or Marvel lover. I wouldn't invite them into my anime evening, because what's the point if like 5 people watch anime and then there's one who does not watch anime? That one person is not going to have as much fun then. They might not have any fun at all. So why would you invite them? Unless they want to, I guess. But we didn't. We only took us who had a common interest. So that happened. But so I guess how I became more extroverted had to do with my common interests with other people, and then we had close contact. We kept in contact. We went to school together, or we lived close, or yeah, those were mainly the reasons. We had gotten to know each other so well and built a strong friendship between us. And that's a mochi cake with sesame. Yeah, sesame seeds. Really not easy to drink. Yeah. And then at some point, I started caring less about what other people thought of me. If someone doesn't like to hang out with someone who watches anime, fine, then don't hang out with the person. I mean, that's your decision on who to hang out with. But I decided to be confident in myself. I started appreciating myself a lot more, and the fact that I watch anime, that's a part of me, something I like to do. So if someone wouldn't accept that, then fine, it's up to them. I'm not going to change myself for someone else. And that is something I learned through years. That because before I used to adapt myself to the group of people I'm with. So if I'm with a bunch of people who likes watching Marvel, I try to engage in the conversation with the knowledge of Marvel and Marvel movies that I have, which was not very much, but I tried. And if you have to try so hard to be able to be with people and have more friends, would they really be friends that you actually want to be hanging out with? Because for me, when I choose my friends, I want there to be friends who appreciates me for who I am, and someone who I enjoy spending my time with. There's no point in spending time with someone who I'm not gonna have a good time with. Then I'm gonna rather go back to being an introvert and stay at home and do whatever me time things I want to do. So yeah, it's not always anime or manga, sometimes TV series or movies or YouTube. Yeah, I just watch a bunch of music videos and such, so yeah, YouTube. Yeah, so you shouldn't be needing to try so hard just to get friends. I mean, you don't exactly pick your friends. It's more of you suddenly become friends because you notice you have started building a bond with the person, a relationship. So then you just suddenly become friends. It's not something you have to be like, oh, that person is gonna be my friend. You just, if you have something, some friendship that could be being built between you, then if the friendship is meant to be, it'll happen. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you actually really want to be friends with someone, so yeah, sure, you're going to try to become friends with that person then. I mean, it's all up to you on how you choose to become friends with someone. I actually just engaged in conversations with people. Like sometimes it would be that, okay, yeah, I like this person, we have a lot in common, and whenever I have a conversation with him or her, I have a lot of fun. For example, when I talk about anime with this person, I have a lot of fun because I'm having I'm talking about something that I love, and being able to share my love for a common interest that we both have with someone, then I am enjoying myself so much more, and it puts a smile on me and I have so much fun. But if I am going to be talking about Marvel with someone and I am struggling to find the next words for the conversation, to keep the conversation going, trying to find what I should say next, that's not really enjoying myself. That's more of when you improvise on a presentation because you didn't prepare it well. Yeah, that's what it's like. You're improvising on a conversation that you have no idea what you're doing. I'm not saying Marvel is bad. I'm just saying that I don't watch Marvel movies much. I have seen quite a few, but I'm not a big fan of Marvel. But I do love watching movies. This is a mochi cake with red bean paste. It's really sweet. And so my favorite one is actually the one with sesame seeds. But yeah. And that in the middle is the red bean paste. And there's some powder in it. Like flour or something. Yeah, and I got flour all over my table. Yeah. And then, so as I started appreciating myself more, I started talking to people more. I actually think this was a little timing thing as well, because I started hanging out with people, with friends more at the same time as I started watching slightly less anime, or at least I was a bit less active on my anime watching. I'm not sure why that happened though. It was partially because of school too, I guess, because we got so much yeah, I mean, when you get group work to do, you kind of need to have contact with the people in your group to make sure everything is running smoothly. And so that forced me to have interaction with them. Yeah. And because I had so many friends who I had common interests with and enjoyed talking to, I decided to try hanging out with them as well after school, outside of school, and it was a lot of fun. We enjoyed ourselves. We would maybe watch a movie together or anime together, or we just do something complete else, like we could bake, we would go out shopping together, go to a beach, just something, some activity together. And then after spending so much time with the people and the kind of conversations we had, I started getting more used to them, more comfortable with the people, and so as I was appreciating myself more and more, as I said, I started interacting with other people more. So people who I weren't as close friends with, people who I don't share much common interest with, I actually started to talk with those kind of people as well. Even more, like I'll just try to find something random or a simple conversation to have with them. It didn't need to be about anything we have in common, with interest. It could just be a small conversation, like I don't know, comment on their clothes or something and then draw something funny from that, or just tell each other some jokes or something. And my humor is actually really bad. I say I have bad humor, many of my friends say I have bad humor, but somehow I just sometimes still make people laugh, so that's good, I think. Yeah. And so later, middle school was happening. Yeah, I became more friends with people. I would still I would be adapting myself to the different social groups. For example, if you have a bookworm and then you have a party person, someone who really likes to go to parties, when I'm talking to the bookworm person, someone who really likes reading, I would try to talk a bit. I would have conversations. It's more about books and stories. There I could also be talking about manga, different kind of genres, TV series, like something within that area. And then when it comes to the party person, then maybe I would ask about, oh, what do you people do at the party? Oh, did you have fun this and that time? Oh, what happened to this and that person and such. Like, just try to stay within their field of interest, because it's not something, parties isn't really something that I don't know. I'm pretty neutral. I don't really have a big opinion on parties. I don't think they're bad, but I also don't, yeah, I just don't think they're bad. It depends on the party. So yeah, depending on the other person who I'm having a conversation with and what their interest is, then I'll try to have a conversation towards their interest. So yeah, so I have a friend who played handball, and then maybe I will talk about sports with the person, like, oh yeah, you train that often per week, yeah, my swimming, I train this much per week, and blah blah blah. Yeah, so I still adapt myself to others, but not as much as before. Now I also just act like myself, which makes people say that I'm weird, but I'll take it. I know I can be weird sometimes, a lot of times, but that is just who I am. Yeah. By the way, this is yam, and it's not very easy to peel because it's also really sticky. And then when let's see, 3 of my very closest friends during middle school, I became so close with. They almost felt like, one of them really felt like a sister from another mother. And we were, because we got to learn about each other more and more, or get to know each other more, and about how we had so many similar problems or issues, it really made us even more comfortable to talk about these problems with each other, because we were both in the same kind of situation, which made us feel really comfortable talking about it with each other. And so that's another thing, when you have something in common, it makes it a lot easier to have a conversation and to interact with other people. It makes it a lot easier when you actually have something in common. So those are good conversation starters. Try to find common interest. Yeah, and so I became more and more open about myself. Some things I thought I would never be able to talk with someone about, I ended up talking about. Yeah. And then I was more and more open about myself. I acted more like myself outside, jumping around. And then high school came. And in high school, same thing. Sort of, I did not know a single person in my whole grade when I entered high school, because I attended high school in another city far away. I had no friends who followed me to that city, so I was all on my own. I knew a very few people at the school though, but those people weren't in my grade, they were 1 year older. So what I did to try to get to know people, first of all, on my very first day at high school, I was really scared because I just walked into school with a bunch of stranger people I don't know at all, and I don't know what to do. So I just had my sister who could accompany me during my first day, and yeah, let's say it went not as planned. I missed my introduction because apparently the introduction started a bit earlier than scheduled, and I did not hear them calling out that it was our turn to enter the auditorium. So that happened. I had to find my classroom, found my classroom, and everybody is looking at me as I walk in and find an empty seat at the very back of the classroom where nobody will be looking at me because I'm at the very back, sitting next to a girl who later became one of my very best friends in high school and closest friends. And we became friends on the very first 5 minutes of from when I entered that classroom. So within the 5 first minutes of us meeting, the first thing we started talking about, I think was the first thing, was I asked her if she likes K-pop or listens to K-pop, which is Korean pop music. And then she said yes, and then I was like, whoa, really? Seriously? Oh my god, okay, I see common interest here. I see possibility of a friendship here. So then we started having conversation, even though we were supposed to be listening to the teacher, but we did though. We had a few times we could just talk with each other, so we did that. And then when we were getting a tour of the school, we were still with each other, and basically we had so much fun talking to each other, getting to know each other, talking about, like, sharing our opinions with each other about something we both really like and have an interest in, which was K-pop. Yeah, and then I became friends with another girl who is one of my really good and best friends in high school as well. It started that I just saw her standing alone, or at least she wasn't talking with anyone else, so I approached her, and I don't remember what I said, but I started a conversation with her because I felt like I had a responsibility, because since I was a person who had gotten more extroverted and I was pretty okay with talking with people and being the person who starts a conversation with others. Because I felt like that, I felt a strong responsibility that I should walk up to her and start a conversation with her, because I dare to. So when the person dares to do it, I feel like you sort of have a small responsibility to be the one to start up the conversation and be the one who engages it. Not necessarily true that everyone has to do it, but I felt a responsibility for it. Coconut milk for my yam smoothie. This I have not seen anyone do, and this is my own idea of what to do. I did not get this idea from, like, I haven't seen anyone else do a yam smoothie. This is the first time. And this is gonna be really fun to try. Yeah. It's really sticky too. Yeah. What else? But yeah, so I started a conversation with a girl and we became friends. She was happy having a conversation with me. I don't know if she knew anyone else in the class. I think she did. I'm not sure, I don't remember. Yeah, and so me and those two girls, we became pretty close friends. And then school schedule started. One of my friends disappeared for 1 or 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks. So that person couldn't attend school for a while, which meant I had to find new friends to spend my time with at school. because I didn't like being alone anymore. I like being alone when, as in by myself, at home, but if I'm at school or outside in a group, I'd rather not be all alone. I want somebody to be with me. Actually, before, I didn't mind being alone, not that much, but now I mind it a lot more because I've gotten so used to always having someone with me. So yeah, but I can be alone too. I mean, I just go back to my introverted life and I'm good to go. So I don't know how it began, or I don't remember, but I got to know another person who is today also one of my very best and closest friends. Not just in high school, but like overall. And through that, next, my third friend, I got to know my fourth friend. So yeah, and all these 4 friends that I got to know are still today some of my very best and closest friends, who I still hang out with. I go out and enjoy a day with. We go to movies sometime, or we just go and hang out, go for shopping together. Yeah. Yeah, but it all started that I tried to find a common interest. So first I would maybe ask, oh, what do you like to do on your spare time? Because when people talk about spare time, that's when you can get to know them a lot. Because what you do in your spare time, it's most likely something that you enjoy doing, some kind of interest there. So yeah, talking about what you do on your spare time is pretty good. And then I hope someone will actually have something to say then. Oh yeah, I just sit home watching YouTube and TV series and anime. That's it. Yeah, no, we're not stopping there. Then you start asking what kind of videos, what genre do you prefer, how long have you been watching this and that. Like, try to continue the conversation. You don't want to end it just like that. Oh yes, this was really good. This is really good. I think I like the yam better than sweet potato. Okay, the sweet potato obviously has more flavor. It tastes stronger than the yam, because the yam is basically just sweet. This one actually has more flavor to it. But this one's also a lot thicker, so I prefer the yam. If you don't like sweet, don't make yam smoothie. The purple sweet potato is also very sweet. Not as sweet though. If you choose another milk, I think you should be able to make it better. And you could just mix something else into it. And it's all good. Yeah. And then even though I had friends that I enjoyed hanging out with, starting high school, it also led to more time needing to be spent on doing homework. And so I ended up having to spend less time on my anime and manga, because I wasn't able to keep up if I were to watch as much as I did before. So yeah, then I started dropping my anime watching and became less of an otaku. And then eventually I would end up going from watching several, like about 10 episodes of anime per day, to in high school start to watch like a few episodes per week even. Sometimes it could go a whole week and I would not have watched a single episode of anime. Instead, I would be watching K-drama instead. Yeah, Korean drama. I started developing an interest for that. So yeah. And I also ended up what call it? Yeah, I decided to just sacrifice some of my anime watching time and some of my own me time to spend time being with friends instead. Because I enjoyed having fun with my friends than to be by myself and just do whatever I like to do. I still love my me time, being all alone, enjoying myself. But then I would still keep in contact with my friends and such through social media. So I didn't really stop having contact with them just because I'm going to have a me time doesn't mean I'm not going to socialize. I can do both at the same time. It's called multitasking, you know. Oh yeah, by the way. So this is Japan brown rice tea. I am trying this for the very first time. Brown rice tea I never even thought or imagined existed. And you should not dump the leaves straight into the cup. I don't have a tea can to use. And I'm too lazy to get like my holder filter thingy, so I'm just gonna pour this in and hope I don't drink the leaves. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is already pre-boiled water. It's not cold. I boiled it earlier. Yeah. It's not easy to drink when all the leaves is everywhere. Yeah. So I guess if you want any good advice on how to become more extroverted, I don't know, but basically what I did was, at first I didn't have a choice. I had to speak up in front of groups of people, because as I said, my after school activity that I still do today it's forced me. I had to speak up in front of groups of people. I had to interact with all kinds of ages of people. It was kind of scary for me, and I would if I didn't get the kind of reaction I wanted, which is some kind of answer or response, I don't know what I wanted, what I was expecting, but if the person if you're talking to someone, they're just standing there looking at you, listening, just poker face, they're staring at you, isn't it pretty logical that you start talking even quieter and quieter until you start whispering, and then you start asking, wait, I can't hear you anymore? Yeah, that's what I did a lot of times. Yeah, because I got nervous or scared that what I'm saying is wrong, or I'm saying something wrong, I'm doing something wrong, I'm just not doing something right. So then I get really nervous, and that's when everything goes down. Yeah. But with practice, you'll get used to it, and you'll get better at keep having a conversation. But trying to find common interest with someone and becoming more comfortable with the people, it will help you to be more comfortable with exposing yourself to someone, because you want to enjoy your time with the other people as much as possible, I guess. Or at least that's how I felt. So that's why I started opening up more about myself, my own opinion, and started showing people, or yeah, my friends, that this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I like me or not, this is who I am. I'm not changing. Not anymore. I love myself the way I am. I appreciate who I am, because the you today is the result from a lot of hard work and struggling, something that you have been working up to. And the you today, the version of you today, is the product of getting through all of these life things. And now you have reached this point of being the person you are today. If you're satisfied, if you appreciate who you are right now, that's good. You should. But if you don't appreciate yourself, then maybe you should consider why. It might make you feel less confident about yourself, because you feel like, oh, there's something wrong with me because people don't seem to like me or want to hang out with me as much. But then it's not that there's something wrong with you, it's just you haven't met the right people to hang out with. So yeah. So my advice, the advice I can come up with right now, that I've got so far, is to go from being an introvert to extrovert. First of all, you need to take a step. When you're an introvert, it means that you're most likely not, you don't engage with people as much. You don't interact with other people as much as you do as if you were to be an extrovert. So what you could do first is, because many introverts have problem with being comfortable around other people, and trying to figure out how they should act around them. So instead of going up, getting to know someone new, for example in class or at work or at a group event or get together, try to focus more on people you already know. It could be relatives or some childhood friend, but try to become more comfortable with them. Think of, why do I enjoy being with them so much? And then you will move over and find someone new and try to start up a conversation with them, just a really simple one. Just talk about what the two of you are interested in, what you do during your spare time, maybe a bit about your life story, like, oh, which country are you from, do you have any siblings, do you watch this kind of movie or TV series, what's your favorite genre, do you like reading books, do you like school? I love school. I actually do like school and education, so I just don't like doing exams because it's not that fun. I do enjoy writing essays though, but yeah. Anyways, and then when you start figuring out what kind of topics the two of you can have conversations about, then maybe you'll move on to, or you'll try to move on to talking with them even more, not just at school or at the event, but try to keep in contact and keep in touch with each other even during any time of your day or week. Just some small chatting with each other, and then start to try and plan hangouts with each other, meet up with each other and have some fun. Maybe go out to a cafe or go to the movies, a cinema, a restaurant, amusement park, or just go to one or the other person's place, just something. And you know, it doesn't have to be only you and that one person. You can go in a group. It might actually be way easier then, because then you don't feel as pressured that the two of you always someone has to come up with the next line to say in a conversation, keep it all going. So if you're in a group, it's a lot easier, because then you help each other to keep the conversation going all the time, if that's what you want. Yeah, and then eventually when you find the kind of people who you feel comfortable, or that you feel like you have a shared interest with, you start getting more comfortable with them because you can talk about something that you both really like and love, and you talk more in depth about that topic, which usually makes you feel more comfortable with the person. So yeah, and then eventually the goal is that you're trying to open up about yourself towards others, and yeah, don't be afraid to be yourself, but you'll be more pleased and more willing to want to act like yourself, the person who you are. And I'm forgetting about my food. The key is also that just keep on and appreciate yourself. Appreciate the person you are, and appreciate the person you have become today. Because the person you are today is the kind of person that you have resulted into becoming after all these struggles and walls you've climbed over. And then there are also the, I don't know, easy roads? Not really. So yeah. So, I am going to try and finish all of my snacks before I go to bed, and I thought I could finish all this during this mukbang. It's not easy. It's too much food and too much talking. I mean, I don't get how people can be talking at the same time as they eat several plates of food. I can't even eat this little snack time by myself while talking. Like, it's not possible. Or yeah, it is possible, but it's not easy. But I'll get better at it, because with practice you'll get better at it. I mean, it depends. With practice you usually get better at stuff. This is Korean seaweed, by the way, but it has extra added seasoning to it, so it's not like original flavor. I'm not sure what they added. I just know it's, yeah, just some added seasoning. This is what it looks like. It's really good and really oily. So, but that is gonna be it for today's mukbang. Well, my very first. I mean, come on, there are leaves everywhere at the very surface of the drink. How can I not be struggling to not get the leaves in my mouth? I don't want to drink the leaves. You're not supposed to. If you have any questions or stories you want to share, or any comments about this topic, just comment it down below in the comment section, and I'll read it. I'll be sure to read it and reply to you guys and respond as soon as possible. And I hope you guys enjoy this. If you want a recipe for my smoothie, which is actually really easy, but if you, I don't know, if you have any questions about anything that's been shown, said, or done in this video, just comment down below in the comment section, and I'll check it out and read it. But otherwise, I had a lot of fun. I'm enjoying the food. I'm enjoying sharing this topic with you guys. And if you want to see more of these kind of mukbangs, please comment down below in the comment section so I know. And please, if you don't mind, I'd really appreciate if you guys also shared what you thought about this video. I'm not sure if this is something I'm going to be doing more of, but if it's something that you guys like and would like to see more of, I'll be glad to try. And I am going to be trying to get better at this and trying to eat faster while talking. It's not easy. So yeah, but thanks for today. And if, like I said, if you have anything to comment, let me know. You can also send me an email to my business email. It says in the description box, so you can check that out. And I hope you have a great evening. So bye.